Airdrop to build community.
Bullshit.
How to get a job with Binance. I know you answered that maybe a lot.
But I think it was close to 6-figure KOL campaign.
Do people actually give a shit about privacy? All right, Angie, welcome to the show. We met before, I think, in person. I've seen you sometimes because we're both from Ukraine, but I don't think we formally met, so it's a weird way to do that. Anyway, is it weird if we speak in English, to appeal to English-speaking audience?
No, not really weird. Not really. I think we met before at some crypto events, obviously, but we're not like chatting for a while. Because different companies, different time zones, etc. But happy to be here today.
Happy to have you here. So, Angie, you brand yourself as no bullshit marketing. So, how to be real in 2026 as a marketer?
Oh, that's a tough one at the very beginning. I think being authentic.
No bullshit, just straight up.
Yeah. I think being authentic became like another marketing strategy. People optimize for looking natural, looking authentic, instead of actually saying something interesting or insightful. And I really, really like it, this new trend. As for me personally, I would rather occasionally be wrong on something than sound like ChatGPT with perfect grammar and a bunch of, facts here and there. So I think no bullshit marketing is easy. And most marketers will eventually switch to that trend. This is my personal belief.
Yeah, adjust or die. I agree with that. And that's the name of the show. Welcome to the show, Brutally Honest Podcast. We try to be brutally honest with founders, with leaders of the industry. So you can maybe learn something and share something. If you haven't followed us, please do so now. Please follow Angie. Links will be somewhere here. So I also wanted to play a game with you. And, for the thumbnails, you have to do like this or that. So we'll use it for the picture. So I ask you for a concept and you say it's bullshit or legit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one is buying Twitter again, maybe it's just for me as well because I forgot as well. So this is legit. This is bullshit, right? Okay. So first one is buying Twitter followers for social proof.
Ooh. Bullshit.
Okay.
Should I explain or just...
No, it's a quick one. It's a quick one. Paying an influencer 5,000 for one tweet.
Bullshit.
Okay. Founder-led marketing.
Legit. 2 thumbs up.
Okay. Airdrop to build community.
Bullshit.
Okay. Weekly community events.
Ooh, I would say usually it's bullshit, but only if you do it without a strategy. So it depends.
Okay. Building in public, like sharing your failures and not just wins.
Legit. I love it.
Okay. Announcing a partnership with protocol you talked once on Telegram.
Mega bullshit.
Okay. Recording a podcast.
Legit.
And putting Ex-Binance in your bio 4 years later.
Legit.
Well, we all do have that. I proud myself also for the companies I work for. So it's like a quality mark, and there's nothing wrong with that. I agree. So, most Ukrainians, I believe, have this question to you, or maybe one of the most popular questions is how to get a job with Binance. I know you answered that maybe a lot, but I think you are second hire in Binance, as per your Twitter or something.
Second marketing hire in Ukraine. Yeah. And there were maybe like a few more team members on the support, customer support, and maybe like P2P. I'm not sure, it was long ago, but yeah, I get asked that a lot. And I think before I was saying something like, just apply, like try your luck, be natural, be authentic, etc., etc. And now I think times are different, companies hire differently, and Binance is a huge corporation as of now. As far as I know, they have like more than 7,000 employees as of now. So I think it definitely is, harder now to just apply. I think you need to have like a really strong network, someone that will give you like a good reference, feedback on your work. I think you need to have at least like 5 years of experience. I might be wrong, but I think the requirements are way, way more, tough now than it used to be in 2020 when I applied.
Yeah.
So, but still,
It's not.
I think everything is possible.
Yeah, it's not 2020 anymore, and our market is also has changed. And right now, every product wants to be seen. It's a saturated market. So maybe you can share your bad experience. So, what's the biggest amount of money or time you have wasted on a marketing campaign? So, something what founders should avoid, but based on your example, I can go first if you want.
No, I definitely have a case that popped up immediately. It was like, again, long ago, and my way of thinking, my strategies evolved in a good way since then. But I think it was close to 6-figure KOL campaign that generated like a shit ton of impressions, like millions of impressions, but close to 0 users. And marketers would argue, wait, it was like good for brand exposure, like or vanity metrics are still important in our industry. But now I'm super not happy about that case, and now I avoid strategies like that, especially when I advise to some like startups with very small budgets, someone who is just figuring out their strategy. I say do not start with KOL campaigns.
Yeah, true. So you had experience with assuming paid ads as well. Do they work in crypto, and how do they work? It's a personal question for me.
Yeah, I think because I had lots of experience with paid ads in Web2, I also had my own Web2 business and ran ads for myself. I think it helped me apply this like experience in Web3, but also I'm not a huge fan of having like most of your strategy relying on paid ads. I am rooting for vice versa. You have like organic strategy, long-term vision, building the narrative, having strong positioning, etc., etc. And then paid ads will just help you, amplify all that, or will help you like reach more new people, new like target audiences, etc. But it should not be core of your strategy. So I think TLDR is paid ads will not fix your weak positioning, lack of product market fit, etc. Paid ads will just amplify whatever you've already built.
Yeah, fair enough. So let's talk about Phenix. Can you explain to me, like, Degen, why should I care about encryption?
Oh, like a Degen. Interesting. So imagine if every time you opened your wallet, the whole internet could see your bank account, see what you're buying on a daily, see how much money you lost on the World Cup predictions, etc., etc. And that is basically crypto today. So Phenix lets apps use your data without exposing it to everyone.
Wow, that's I'm sold. Interesting to know more. But you also, I think, one of the podcasts that's or the only podcast that you have now is Breeding Privacy. So, if your own experience by talking to founders, to users, do people actually give a shit about privacy, or is just the VC narrative? Because I do, like the way you told me, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I have to think about it.
Yeah, this is my favorite because I think nobody says they care about privacy. When we talk about retail people, like users like you or myself, I do not think we care that much about privacy, as opposed to institutions, enterprises, etc. But they care about not getting front run, not exposing their salary, not leaking their portfolio, especially their like meme coin strategies, and not getting hacked, obviously. Privacy is just the technology that solves those problems. So I think they care about those problems to be solved. They do not care what underlying technology they will use. They do not care if that's going to be Phenix or Tornado Cash or Zcash, whatever. At the same time, when we lose our privacy and people start getting our data that we are not comfortable sharing, that becomes a problem. And I think the mental model switches instantly in that case.
Yeah, let's talk about fears. So, what is the worst case that would happen? I mean, I always say this example in France. I live in France. There was like over 30 kidnaps last year.
Yeah.
Only crypto. So, what could be other like bad examples of people that's okay, you don't care, but it gets you somehow, you know?
Yeah, I think France is like one of the worst possible examples, right? Because I just read the news a week ago, I guess, that France is a leading country in terms of crypto crimes, like crimes against crypto traders, crypto founders, etc., etc. So France is leading this race, unfortunately, and I think obviously personal safety, like your life, your family, these things are like the top of the list of importance, why you need privacy. And then when we talk about financial aspect, just like showing your portfolio, showing what DeFi apps you're using, where you lose money, how much you earn, all that stuff, I think it's just something that I wish was never public. I think crypto was supposed to be built that way from the very beginning. And that's like a huge mistake that we don't have that now after so many years. And that's something that privacy builders are now trying to solve.
So, heads up for privacy builders, heads up to Phoenix. Links should be over here. So, you also brand yourself as a marketing mom. So how does what is Friday look like when you're building a marketing strategy while raising a kid?
Oh, so I drop her at the daycare in the morning, and that's the best part of my day. Then I become a marketer, and then by the end of the day, I miss her so much. Then it's another best part of my day when I get her back home. So I think at some point I've stopped chasing balance. I realized that I cannot do everything at once perfectly. So on some days I'm a better marketer, a better employee, a better wife sometimes. On some days I'm a better mom. And my goal now is not to try win everything on one day. And I think that's like one of the insights I had very, very recently, and it helped me to stop, hating myself for not being perfect in every single direction.
Thank you for sharing that. If you have another kid, or if your kid were a son, you can just send to Dagestan and forget. But with girl, I think it's a bit more difficult. So yeah, I get that, and we have like people in our company as well that they have children, and it's sometimes difficult to balance. So thank you for sharing your insight.
Yeah, I think that's an important part. If like, what are your company's value? Because I have something to compare, not necessarily in a bad way, but my previous company, when I just had a kid and she was a baby, and it was like really hard time for me as a human being. That company was very young, like everyone was super, super young, nobody had children. And even though they tried to understand me and that sometimes I'm not available for random meetings, etc., it just felt like I am an outsider just because my lifestyle is very different. And it doesn't mean that they were in the wrong or I was in the wrong. It's just, we were unable to understand each other. And the current company, Phenix, almost like everyone has 2, 3 kids. So I feel like I'm not doing great in my case, but everyone is super, super understanding. We start our meetings with like, how are your kids doing? Like, how was your weekend, etc., etc. And it's just, another vibe. And I think matching in terms of vibe and values with your teammates is super important.
Yes, and corporate culture, it's a something that every company has to constantly work on, and not just like saying something or we do that with it, but actually doing it, right? So maternity leave or things like that is very important, obviously, so everyone will feel that they belong. Actually, I've seen the interview by, I think, the first HR hire of Google, and she told like out of first 100 people they hired, around like 93 stayed in the company, and like 3 of them are dead, so almost 100%. And she told me she told in this article that it's about feeling that you have impact on the world and feeling like you belong. So these two things are the most important. So obviously, yeah, it's Google, the salary is everything, but in terms of when people are deciding to stay or not, these are the key factors.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
let's talk about something different. What is the worst advice for founder, or basically how to lose in 2026? So for those who are launching in Web3.
I think don't show up, build in stealth until you're ready. This is the worst advice that anyone can give to any founder today. The market is not waiting for you, and if you don't show up now, if you don't show the process, if you don't ship in public, probably someone will do better and have community built, like a strong community built sooner than you, not because their tech is better, but because they were showing up from the day one, or maybe like the day zero even.
Fair enough. I agree with that. And the same topic, you can nominate someone that you know, a founder or a friend, whatever, to be our next guest. So if you want to do it, it's perfect time.
So I have a head of DevRel at Phenix, and we actually became like very good friends since we started working together. Her name is Lauren. And honestly, I'm every day inspired by how smart she is, but also how easy she is explaining like really, really complex technical terms to such a noob like me. Meaning in terms of tech, I am a noob. And when I just joined Phoenix, I was like, what the hell are you guys building? I cannot like understand the documentation, anything. And she had intro meeting with me, just guided me through the tech, the architecture, etc. And I think I was like, wow, first of all, this is cool tech, and wow, second of all, like, how can you explain that so easy? So if you're interested in figuring out how to explain your tech to a broader audience in a simple way, I think you should talk to her.
I think this will be very useful for founders because, this elevator pitch, we were both in Cannes, so you know how people sometimes describe their product, and you're like, I don't understand, right? Elevator pitch should be something like, okay, we do this for this, how we do it. That's it.
Yeah.
So if we have someone that can help us and our listeners, I think that'll be great. So Lauren might be our next guest. Who knows?
Yay! I'll set up a group now.
Okay. Okay, Angie, thank you so much for being here today. It was a bit shorter, but I don't know, maybe it's better. Shorter, people have shorter and shorter attention span.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the format you're looking at. Okay, this is for TikTok, Instagram, whatever, YouTube. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for being here today. And please follow Angie. Please follow Phenix, definitely. And follow us as well if you like this format. And see you around. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Yay.